Kia ora, good evening, and thank goodness for the wristwatch. A group of boaties has told Newshub about the moment they found a man bobbing in the sea a long way off the coast of Whangamata. He'd been there 23 hours, and but for his watch, he might never have been rescued. They spotted a flash as the sunlight caught the watch face. Talk about luck or a miracle. But what the guy in the water talked of was the need to survive and a burger. Grace Thomas has the story.
When these three boaties from Auckland headed out for a day of game fishing yesterday, little did they know they'd end up saving a man's life.
It was kind of a series of fortunate events, really. I mean, when you start going back and piecing through the day.
Cambridge man Will Franson had set off on a solo fishing trip on January 2nd, which nearly turned to tragedy by the Alderman Islands, 55 kilometres off the coast, when he fell overboard after hooking what he thinks was a marlin. Dragged further away by the currents, he ended up floating for more than 23 hours near Mere Island before being spotted. During his time in the water, a shark even came to have a sniff. But Franson's fate took a miraculous turn about 2 p.m. the following day.
Sort of saw a glistening probably 600 metres away from the boat at the time, and sort of were curious as to what that could have been, and sort of made our way over. And as we got closer, I think it was Max who said, I think that's a person, and it was actually me who said, surely not.
The floating fisherman had been trying to attract attention by reflecting the sun off the face of his watch.
You could see the despair in his face when we slowed down. We were game fishing, so we had all the lures out the back, so we were madly trying to clear gear probably 50 metres away from him, and I think he was just that desperate and worried that even at that point we hadn't quite noticed him.
Once he was pulled onto the boat, Max White and James McDonald sprang into action.
Our priority quickly turns to take off all of our shirts, our jumpers. We had a big cooler bag and just wrap him up with as many layers as possible. And then, he's desperate for water and that sort of thing, so had a bit of warm water on the boat and some cranberry juice.
Speaking to the Herald, Franson said he knew the chances of someone even knowing he was in the water were slim, and he was just focused on staying alive. He said as soon as he got out of hospital, he enjoyed a McDonald's and a Heineken. Whangamata Police Sergeant Will Hamilton says it was a miracle rescue.
It's nothing short of heroic. Observing something a little bit unusual in the water and taking the time to actually go and investigate that.
The incident is also a good reminder about water safety.
He wasn't wearing a life jacket at the time, so the thing that we sort of see that saved his life is wearing a game fishing harness, which kept him afloat, but also the importance of logging trips with Coast Guard.
Franson's reportedly already chartered a plane to look for his boat.
I don't think the reality of it will settle in for a while, I guess just how fortunate the situation is.
Something the lucky fisherman and his rescuers won't be forgetting anytime soon. Grace Thomas, Newshub.